Every success story starts with a foundation of confidence. I used to dress like this. Not very attractive, not very feminine, to now dressing like this. And without healing, you cannot do anything. I know Labello hates to see me coming. And couple that with some trauma, it was just like a brewing pot of just low self-esteem. I haven't been this excited to shoot something as I am right now. Like, those that know that I had a YouTube channel a couple years ago, and this was like my first passion project. I was always so excited to record, and then I lost that channel due to some unforeseen circumstances. It had to do with my phone being stolen. Very traumatic experience. I was not able to retrieve that channel, hence why that channel is still up till today. If you search Fran Mouge, you will see that channel pop up. So I just decided, you know what, it's been a long time coming, let me just get back to what I love doing, and that is why I have this channel. But today is not about why I created this channel. Today is about a much needed conversation about confidence. Now, I always talk about confidence because every success story starts with a foundation of confidence. A couple years ago, I was the most insecure person that you would ever meet. I didn't know how to hold a conversation. I barely knew how to make eye contact with people. Now I'm a completely different person. Even the people around me can attest to that. And the only reason why I've been able to transform not just my mindset, but the kind of person that I am right now, because I've implemented very simple steps that has helped me to become the woman that I've always thought myself to be mentally, but I couldn't implement these strategies physically because I was so limited by my surroundings. These strategies that I'm about to teach you are very normal, common, everyday things. It's because we don't put these things together. That's why we never ever think of actually trying them out. Now, when I thought about these strategies for a long time, I never thought that they would work because I've heard other people speak of it. I've heard other people mention it. I myself told myself that I should be doing these things, but I never thought of doing it because I always thought, oh, but it will never work. When I did them and I was consistently doing them for a very long time, I saw how they drastically changed the way that I saw myself and the way that people saw me. Confidence obviously is something that has to be bred from within, but sometimes we need a little bit of help from the external things to help us be the people that we've always seen ourselves to be. I went from dressing like this to now looking like this. I went from going out looking like this to looking like this. I needed to find who I was holistically. By doing that, it led me to finding what are my key points that I want to focus on in my confidence journey. I used to dress like this. Not very attractive, not very feminine, to now dressing like this. And the only reason why I got to this point is because I had to find out who is Francine. I like really feminine things. I like being very classy. Now you would ask yourself, you really like being feminine, why do you dress so masculine? A lot of people don't know my childhood was quite romantic, to say the least. I dealt with a lot of things that made me channel that masculine energy quite a lot. Whenever I thought of feminine energy, I always correlated it to weakness. And a lot of women do that, especially a lot of women who had a dramatic past. They always correlate those two words together. They make them synonymous. That's why I always speak about healing so much. You need to heal. Without healing, you will never know who you truly are. Without knowing who you truly are, you'll never be able to find yourself. If you don't find yourself, you cannot start your genuine confidence journey. Whilst finding myself, I understood that Francine is really a feminine person. The reason why I dress so masculine is because I was in that masculine energy for such a long period of time. I connected that to my identity, which wasn't really my identity, but rather it was something I used as a defense mechanism. So I thought if I portrayed the strong character, it would help me be stronger, but rather what it was doing, it was just like a costume. It never really made me any stronger. What it did is it made me very rude, very arrogant, and very defensive, and that is not who I wanted to be. In healing, I was able to truly understand that this way that I was dressing was so connected to my trauma. So what I did is I changed the way that I dressed. Even though it was very hard for me to find my way back to my organic self, that journey of going from very masculine to very feminine was one of the most healing journeys for me, because I went back to really liking the things that I've always loved. If you knew me in my childhood, you would know my favorite color has always been pink. I went through this season of just wearing black. I kid you not, for like a good 6 years of my life, I wore black almost every single day. Most of my outfits still today are still black. Most of my shoes are black. And so transitioning from black to pink was really me saying I am going back to who Francine originally is. Yes, I love black, but I don't love black that much. It was more of a statement thing than it was a thing that I like. So the strategy that I implemented first was healing. Once I healed, I was able to go back to who I naturally was. So once you've healed, once you've found your identity, you can find your true style. Self-care is linked to self-worth. If you don't have a high view of yourself, you're not really going to take care of yourself like that. Think about it. People that have a luxury car, they're going to want to maintain that car because they know the value of it. They've put a high value on that vehicle, so they'll never let it get to the point where it looks dusty and musty and just raggedy. We have a family car that's stuck outside, hasn't been driven in years. Nobody cares to wash that car because its value has been gone. It's all dependent on how you view something. If you view yourself as the biggest asset that you'll ever have, you are going to take care of yourself. But what we do is we want other people to tell us how valuable we are. These simple strategies is what's going to help you elevate. So I'm going to recap. First strategy is you need to heal. I will keep on preaching healing until I am blue in the face. Without healing, you cannot do anything. Then after healing, you will find yourself. Sit down, journal, pray, whatever you need to do. Find out who you are authentically. Find out who God created you to be. After finding out who you are, then you're going to find your style. Keep your outward appearance at a 10. These simple strategies are everyday things that people talk about, but when you combine them together and you make them a primary goal for yourself this year, your confidence will drastically boost. I used to get such bad social anxiety because I used to think everybody was speaking about me. I never even knew what the word social anxiety was. I never knew it was even a condition until my counselor told me a couple years ago. I used to step outside and have sweaty palms all the time. Legs would start to get weak because I thought everybody was saying something negative about me. Obviously, I think that's PTSD from all the bullying that I went through when I was younger, but still, I dealt with that because I had such low view of myself. I thought everybody saw me how I saw myself. But once I filled up my cup and I learned to organically love myself and learned to see myself the way God views me, it allowed me to say, you know what, even if people don't like me, it doesn't bother me. Just 3 years ago when I was at college, I had an incident where a couple girls were speaking so negatively about me. I don't know why, but everywhere I go, people just always have this thing of, oh, let's just try to bully Francine, let's put it down. And my confidence wasn't doing the best at that time. I was really struggling. These girls would always say things about me that were not true, and it wasn't like they would call me ugly or anything, but it was just a dig at my character. I was always trying to pin people against me. They try to pin my own friend against me. Story for another day. These girls were always out to get me and I never understood why, and that had a major hit at my confidence because I was already here and they pushed me to here. If I had confidence in who I was, didn't let their words shake me, I would have handled that situation a lot better. There was periods where I wouldn't go to school because I just didn't want to deal with their bullying. See how confidence plays a role in things like, and when I look back at the situation now, I'm just like, damn, Francine, it wasn't that deep. But everything feels so much more major when you don't have confidence, when you don't see yourself as valuable. I saw myself the way they saw me. I started living life through the lens of how they viewed me. And when they would come around, I would panic. But right now, if you had to put this current Francine in that classroom, honey, they would not be able to tell me anything. The reason why these girls didn't like me wasn't because I was mean. Sometimes people can see what's inside of you and it bothers them because they don't have it inside of them. These girls were genuinely jealous of me. I see that now. But Francine from 3 years ago who had low self-esteem, she didn't view it that way. She viewed it as, oh, something must be wrong with me, whereas nothing was wrong with me. So I hope you guys work on your confidence this year. I will release so much more videos talking about confidence because as girls, I know it is so difficult to deal with confidence. I grew up as parents of immigrants, and couple that with some trauma, it was just like a brewing pot of just low self-esteem. To see how far I've came and to see the woman that I've become, I'm so proud of myself. And if I have any gems to give to anybody out there, I will definitely do so. I have a podcast called Renewal in Christ Podcast. Please check it out. The link will also be in the description below. Follow me on my socials on TikTok and on Instagram. I hope to see you guys in my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay well. God bless. Bye.